Hey guys, so I'm doing a part 2 review of TransTape. I always meant to do a part 2 the first time that I bought it so that I could update you guys on what the process was like taking it off and how everything felt after that. But yeah, this is my official part 2 to my first review of TransTape. This is the second time that I purchased it. I actually bought a full roll this time. Last time I bought the sample pack. Which is about enough tape for you to bind twice, but it was my first time trying it, and I messed it up, so I was only able to do it once. So this is my, officially, I just took it off yesterday. It was my second time binding with it. It definitely takes practice to get it on. So let me say, first, the first time that I wore it, and I don't remember if I updated my last video or not, but let me say the first time that I wore it, I wore it for about 3 days. On the third day, it had become unbearably uncomfortable, and that was of my own fault because some of it had become folded and it caused really bad chafing on my skin, which led to really painful blisters that I didn't realize were painful because while the tape was on, it was just really itchy, and it was just unbearably itchy, and so I had to take it off. The taking off process takes a long time. I soaked it with oil, which took about 30 minutes of waiting, and it still wasn't falling off on its own like they said that it may do, and I didn't have time for that. So I pulled it I pulled it off, and it, even with soaking with oil for half an hour, it was still difficult to remove. And then in a couple places it still was not ready to let go, and I actually removed a little bit of my own skin. Not terribly bad, but it was painful enough. Not as painful as the blistering that I had caused from putting it on with folds in the tape. So it was, an interesting, freeing feeling. That was irreplaceable. And when I first put it on, I was kind of in love with it. The flattening effect wasn't what I had hoped for, but also I don't have an A cup, and if you have an A cup, you're probably going to have a lot better results with the tape. So I would say that the size of my chest, I don't know, I haven't bought a bra in a really, really long time, but I would say that it is probably like probably a mid-sized B. I'm not entirely sure, but I know it's definitely not an A. So the second time I bought it, I bought a full roll. Had better luck putting it on, trying a different technique. Instead of standing up and kind of leaning over and then pulling everything to the side, I kind of just laid down so that everything would be flat already, and then just kind of applied the tape that way, which worked a little bit better. I got a little bit of a better flattening effect. It actually stayed, it didn't feel like it was gradually letting loose over time, which was great. I wore it for about a day and a half before I decided to take it off. No chafing, which was great. My skin is like fully healed. There's nothing, no blisters or anything like that. It did start to become a little bit itchy around the edges, but I think if you have anything stuck to your skin for a long enough time that it's going to start to itch. But yeah, it held nicely. Again, it wasn't the flattening effect that I really, really was hoping to get, that I see with my binder, but again, it's not going to give you the same results as a binder would. But the pluses are that you can breathe normally. There's a great freeing effect, and yeah, it was a pretty decent experience. Now, this is the part where the review gets bad. So when I took it off yesterday, I did the recommended method. I used coconut oil. I let it soak for longer than half an hour. It wasn't even close to falling off when it was on its own. It was still difficult to remove. I didn't take off any skin this time, but it definitely wasn't painful, but it didn't feel great taking it off either. And it took about, I want to say, probably 10 minutes of carefully removing it to get it all off. After that, everything was all good, and then a little bit later I noticed that my skin felt like, you know, when you like fall asleep really hard on your pillow and you don't move for a long time and it creates that like indentation of like the folds in the fabric and stuff. That's what my skin felt like. I looked in the mirror and there wasn't any like folds or anything in my skin, so I was wondering what was going on, and so I started kind of like rubbing at it, and it was the adhesive from the tape. Actually, the adhesive from the tape stayed completely on me. Like, the tape came off, but the adhesive stayed. So that's what happened, and that's where my review gets bad. I removed it exactly how they wanted me to, and the adhesive didn't come off my skin. So after waiting probably 45 minutes of soaking it in oil and then spending an additional 10 minutes trying to peel the tape off, I then had to go into the shower and spend another 10 minutes pulling adhesive off of my own skin. And I mean completely. I was completely head to toe, like everywhere that the tape was, I had adhesive stuck to my skin still. And it's sticky, so I decided to put more oil on, and then I waited a minute, and then I got in the shower and was really going at it with the scrubber, and it was like painful scrubbing trying to get it off. And then I realized that rubbing was the only way I was going to get it off because it was sticking to my fingers. I literally had to pull it off. And then what ended up happening was I got a bunch of it in my loofah is now covered in the adhesive. It's all over in my shower. Little balls of the adhesive are all in my shower. When I toweled off, whatever I didn't get off in the shower got on my towel, and then which spread it the rest of the way down my body because it wants to stick to my skin more than it wants to stick to the towel. And so then I had to spend another 5 minutes checking my whole body for little balls of adhesive. And that's where my review gets bad. I don't understand why the adhesive didn't come off when I took it off the way that I was told to. And yeah, so I'm not really sure what happened there. And I can even show you guys what my shower looks like. That there is actually adhesive in my shower still that I have to clean up. So yeah, like, you can see that. Let's see. You see all those little balls, that's all adhesive. Look at this. Look. That's all adhesive from the tape. And it's still stuck to my shower. So yeah, that's where my review goes negative. I don't understand what happened. I don't understand why the adhesive didn't want to come off like it was supposed to, but it was really frustrating, really super annoying, and yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that for an experience, for some people it might be perfect. For me it was not. I probably won't be buying it again. I really wanted to be able to not bind during the summer since it's so hot. I wanted to be able to go and like be shirtless at the river and have like kind of like a freeing experience and just feel a little bit more whole and get rid of some of my dysphoria issues. But honestly, I have to say that it's probably not worth it when it comes to the application process taking so long because it's such a sensitive and kind of difficult thing to put on. Maybe that's just because I'm not practiced at it, but I did not have a good time putting it on. I definitely did not have a good time taking it off, and I'd say for me, it's just not worth it. If that's going to happen every time, it's not worth it. So that's my honest review of TransTape. I mean, I admire the guy who came up with it and his efforts to provide something that is better than the alternative of using tape that's definitely not made for that, but I gotta say that it's just not for me. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you want to try it, get the sample pack, try it out, see what happens for you. If you fall in love with it, great. If you don't, then you know you didn't waste a ton of money. So yeah, that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay safe out there when you're binding, and especially during the summertime. Please, 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 guys, take care of yourself. Do not wear your binders for a super long time. Don't wear your TransTape for more than 3 days. Just take really good care of yourself. Take care of your skin. Take care of be able to breathe. Take care of your chest. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.